Over the past few months, you've probably noticed an increase in the amount of content, discussions, and videos circulating about Gypsy Rose Blanchard, from TikTok to YouTube and various online forums. It seems like Gypsy's name is popping up everywhere again. And honestly, it doesn't come as much of a surprise when you think about it. Ever since she was released from prison, there's been a noticeable push to keep her in the public eye, and the people around her seem to be working hard to ensure that she stays relevant. It's as though Gypsy's team, possibly with the help of the professional PR firm or content management group, has been strategizing to make sure her story continues to be told. The goal seems clear: keep Gypsy's name in the spotlight, ensure that people are still talking about her, and do everything possible to shape her public image in a way that is more favorable. After all, a positive narrative can be powerful, especially in today's media-driven world.
You said that you've gotten death threats. Are you getting protection? Tell us about that.
I've gotten death threats on Instagram and TikTok and social media. I usually just report them with the app itself, and hopefully they can take care of it on the back end of things. But I try just not to pay attention to any of that kind of stuff.
However, things aren't going as smoothly as her team might have hoped. In fact, recent developments suggest that their efforts might be doing more harm than good. Instead of improving Gypsy's reputation, there's a growing sense that something just isn't right with the way she's managing her post-prison life. During my research into Gypsy's recent media activity, I stumbled upon something that really caught my attention. It all started when I came across a YouTube comment from one of her followers. The comment said, "Haha, YT comments are always better than TikTok. I guess she hasn't bought the boat on YouTube yet." At first glance, it didn't seem like much. But as I thought about it more, it got me curious. What did they mean by boat boats? And why was there a comparison between YouTube and TikTok?
There's 112 of these because it was the same 6 comments over and over and over again.
I just want to know what in the Team Who Shit PR is doing this. Did you think this was doing something? You are just wasting your freaking money.
These people that are telling me that Fancy is doxing me on a panel. Who are they from? What are they trying to do?
To dig deeper, I decided to check out Gypsy's TikTok account to see for myself what was going on. And what I found was shocking. Almost every single comment on her TikTok videos was overwhelmingly positive. People were flooding the comments with compliments, support, and admiration for her. Some of the things people were saying just didn't line up with the general public sentiment that most of us are familiar with when it comes to Gypsy. For example, here are a few of the comments I came across. "You are seriously so pretty. I can't wait to meet your baby. You look beautiful. So happy for you. Gypsy, you deserve all the happiness in the world." Now, these comments might seem normal at first glance, but if you've been following Gypsy's story, you'll know that her public reputation hasn't exactly been glowing. There's still a lot of skepticism, and many people still struggle to reconcile her involvement in her mother's death, regardless of the circumstances. Yet, here she was receiving praise like she was some sort of hero. Naturally, this led me to wonder, why are the comments on TikTok so different from what we see on other platforms? To get a clearer picture, I took a look at the comments on Gypsy's YouTube videos, and the contrast couldn't have been more obvious. While TikTok was filled with nothing but praise and love, YouTube was a completely different story. The comments were much more critical, often highlighting the inconsistencies in Gypsy's behavior and pointing out the concerns people still have. Here are some of the comments I found on YouTube. "Girl, you're 22 weeks pregnant and you need to sit down every half an hour? Good thing you don't have a real job. She lies a lot. It's obvious when she does. Her voice changes and she looks away. It's funny how she keeps Googling pregnancy advice like she's an expert. Something about this just feels off." These comments are much more in line with what most of us would expect when discussing about Gypsy Rose. There's still a lot of mistrust and skepticism, which makes the flood of positive comments on TikTok seem all the more suspicious. So, what's going on here? Why is there such a dramatic difference between the comments on TikTok and YouTube? After diving deeper, I discovered that many public figures and celebrities, especially those with controversial past, use tools to filter and manage the comments on their social media posts. There are software programs specifically designed to block negative comments. It's highly likely that Gypsy is using one of these programs on TikTok to ensure that her image remains as positive as possible. By filtering out any negative or critical comments, Gypsy's team is able to create a bubble of positivity around her. The result is a feed that looks like it's filled with nothing but love and support, even though we know the reality is far more complex. But here's where things get even more interesting. This manipulation doesn't just stop at filtering comments on her own post. Lately, several content creators who have spoken critically about Gypsy have reported a disturbing trend. Their videos have been flooded with spam comments, often repetitive and designed to create conflict. These comments are being left by bot accounts, automated accounts that post the same message over and over again across different videos. The purpose of these bot comments to disrupt the conversation and distract creators from discussing Gypsy's controversies. For instance, creators like Nina and others have reported being targeted by bot comments that say things like, "Hope in Nina's box, she's making accusations. Katie Joy is going off on you right now on her panel. Nah, yapping, OMG. Go hop on a panel." These comments aren't coming from real people. They are part of a larger tactic to muddy the waters and create drama between creators, diverting attention away from Gypsy and into irrelevant conflicts. This kind of distraction is incredibly effective because it shifts the focus from Gypsy's controversies to manufactured drama between content creators, silencing the critics in the process.
Are what we call bot accounts because there's not real people behind them. They're also commenting and typing the exact same things word for word. They're trying to pit us against each other so that we will focus on arguing with each other and not on what we originally make our content about. I saw Ryan Lee's video on this and she said she had over 150 of these bot accounts. I went to my filtered comments because I didn't think to do that before. So I have over 220 filtered comments saying this exact same thing. It just goes on and on. Nina is coming for you. Katie Joy is. Nina is accusing you of some things. Blah, 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 blah. This is absolutely wild. Now, on Ryan's videos, they were commenting saying that Fancy was doing all of these things to Ryan. But with me, it seems to be Katie Joy and Nina that they're targeting in my comment.
Gypsy Rose Blanchard hired a crisis PR team, allegedly. And this PR team, Red Banyan, y'all, has represented some of the worst that we've seen on social media. And you're not going to believe exactly who they represented at one point, and probably still do. Interesting that these are people they choose to represent. It kind of just shows they'll just literally work for anyone. It's just about the money. If you have the money to pay them, they'll do whatever you want. This company has hired bots.
You might be wondering, how is it all of this is even possible? There are several programs out there that allow public figures to manipulate the narrative around them. Tools like Mod Squad, Brand Bastion, and Agora Plus are commonly used by influencers and celebrities to manage their social media presence. These programs allow users to filter comments, block negativity, and even generate fake engagement through bot accounts. With these tools at their disposal, Gypsy's team can curate a narrative around her. They can even ensure that only positive or neutral comments remain visible, while any criticism is quietly removed. This explains why her TikTok comments are filled with nothing but praise, because the tools being used are designed to present a polished, controlled image. So, what's the end game here? It's clear that Gypsy and her PR team are trying to reshape the way the public sees her. Since her release from prison, they've been working to craft a new narrative, one in which Gypsy is seen not as the woman involved in her mother's death, but as a victim of circumstance. They want people to believe that Gypsy deserved a second chance, that she's someone who was dealt a bad hand in life and is now trying to move on. But this narrative isn't happening naturally. It's being carefully curated and controlled through tactics like comments, filtering, bot attacks, and media manipulation. The goal is to make the public forget about Gypsy's past and focus on the idea that she's moved on. But the question remains, can a narrative this artificial truly be trusted?
My social media, being an influencer, that counts as a job. My social media, there's not one thing posted about the crime on my social media. How am I profiting off of the crime? Because that's what I'm known for. I'm trying to change that. If people would just give me the chance to prove that, hey, I can go from being known, infamous, to being known for doing something better with her life.
and that's my point on social media. And
Okay. You don't have to.
I
This is
haven't.
chill. We don't have to talk about that.
I haven't been like I have not been in
listen to this.
lives that much.
Yeah.
Like
You haven't been on social media much.
yeah, like a combination of I have my passwords to where I can log in if I want to, but like for posting and stuff like that, I'll make the content and then send it over to my PR team. They will edit it and post.
Now, let's talk about Red Banyan, the PR firm that Gypsy has allegedly hired to help manage her public image. This firm is no stranger to the controversy. In fact, Red Banyan has a history of working with clients who have found themselves embroiled in scandal and public backlash. Most notably, the firm has been linked to several high-profile individuals who were involved in viral controversies, often working to clean up their public image after facing intense criticism. It's been reported that Red Banyan is known for using aggressive tactics to manage their clients' reputations. This includes deploying bots to flood the social media platforms with spam comments, filtering out negativity, and creating a false sense of support around their clients. There have even been instances where bot accounts linked to Red Banyan, like one named Oscar, have been spotted leaving identical comments on multiple videos, disrupting conversations and confusing audiences.
I want you to look at this. I wasn't on live. There was nothing going on. Conspiracy and I get along very well, but yet these comments are here. I heard allegedly that Gypsy Rose's PR team or company is unethical. Red Banyan? Yes, I'll actually tag them below because this is all alleged, y'all. I don't know if this is true, but it seems like it's true because whoever's been trying to turn content creators against each other, but then they've also been using unethical people like Bree. This is all becoming kind of weird. But the fact that every time you turn around, these fake profiles are trying to create drama, that's kind of funny. Red Banyan, if you are doing this, you need to do better. Okay.
As we look at everything that's happening around Gypsy Rose Blanchard's media presence, it's becoming more and more obvious that there's a lot of manipulation going on behind the scenes. From filtering comments on TikTok to deploying bots to silence her critiques, Gypsy's PR team is doing everything in their power to control the narrative and present her in the best possible light. I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Let's keep this conversation going and continue to dig deeper into what's really happening. Thank you for watching this video. If you found it informative or interesting, please give it a thumbs up and turn on notifications so you don't miss any updates. Let's stay informed, stay critical, and continue to exposing the truth behind these manipulative tactics. See you next time.